Hey everybody, welcome to week 6. So week 6, we're near the end here, okay? That can be good, that can be bad. It's good because, hey, who doesn't want to be done with the term, right? And for most of you, this is your first term, so getting this one under your belt's got to feel really, really good. So that's the good. The bad is, well, if you're a little behind, I'm still accepting late work, but that's going to have to end, obviously, at some point in the near future. So with that said, if you are behind, if you're concerned about grades, it's incumbent on you to reach out to me. Okay, you really need to do that. I am still accepting late work, so if you have some late work, please get it in as soon as possible, and I'll get it graded as soon as possible as well. Now, by and large, things look like they're going pretty well. I think students are doing very, very well, and I think some students who have fallen behind are trying to get themselves back into it, and that's good. There still is time left, so that is a good thing. Now, week 6 means our second week, well, technically our second and a half or third week maybe, of Excel. Now we're moving from charts and graphs into formulas and functions. And so I've already posted, I'm going to post another video about using formulas and functions in Excel. They seem really daunting, they seem really intimidating, but once you get a kind of a handle on them and you feel a little more comfortable with some of the more basic ones, believe me, you're going to learn very, very quickly. And I think these are something that can be very, very helpful in pretty much any kind of context, workplace-related context or outside of work. You're going to find opportunities to use different kinds of formulas, different kinds of functions. And so take time to really look through those lectures very carefully, get involved in the discussion boards as quickly as possible, and talk about these. Spend some time talking about how you might use certain kinds of formulas on the job or in your own personal life. And for this week specifically, you don't have graded assignments that are going to deal with Excel's formulas and functions. So in the practice section, there are going to be a couple, and I highly recommend going through them. They're really, really good ones, okay? Now, they're not graded, but they're very, very helpful, so I highly recommend going through those. If you have any questions, obviously, reach out. Now, on to the stuff that is graded for this week, the ACT assessment. Now, what is the ACT assessment? Okay. The ACT assessment is this multi-course test. It's going to be different tests that are taken in different courses throughout your time here at Bryant Stratton that is more than anything showing workplace readiness, okay? The section you're going to be doing in this class is related to information literacy. So information literacy, I'm an information literacy professor. Information literacy, in part, is learning how to access and find information and kind of organize it and be able to analyze it, okay? Now this isn't just stuff like when I taught information literacy in the past, we do a lot of stuff with, searching on the internet and databases and everything, but it's also things that are far more basic, like how do I find the right kind of information in a chart or in a graph? So this ACT assessment is going to go a long way toward kind of grading or assessing your ability to do that. Now, you don't have a lot of experience with this stuff, that's okay. You're going to have questions that are everything from kind of high school equivalents or a high school level all the way up to kind of graduate level, doctoral level kinds of questions, okay? That means you're not going to get them all right. That means that when you're done with this thing, you may look at your grade and say, oh my gosh, I did terribly. I got a 60 or I got a 70, and that's just not who I am. Here's the nice thing. All grades are curved upward, okay? It doesn't matter what your grade is, it's going to be curved upward. So you could start with a 79, but you're going to end up with 100 on it, okay? So there's a grading, kind of a grading framework that we follow. So don't worry about that. Just do the best you can. Take your time, little by little, and just try to do the best you can to answer those questions. The goal is at the end of your time here at Bryant Stratton, you're going to get this career readiness certification that you can then present to people out there when you're looking for jobs and say, look, I've done these series of tests, and I'm showing you that I have the kinds of skills that most places are looking for when it comes to new employees, okay? And this is one section of that kind of greater picture. So consider it like that. You are doing workplace readiness stuff. You are preparing for a greater certification that's going to benefit you in the long run. So that's one of the graded assignments for this week. Now, associated with that is going to be a short reflection, okay? So you're going to write a reflection on this workplace readiness test, okay? On this information literacy test that you took. Now, the one thing I would tell you about that is there is a rubric, as there is a rubric for many of the assignments that you're working on this term. And this is a rubric that I have to follow to the letter when it comes to grading your stuff. So make sure you follow the instructions when you're putting together your reflection. Don't just say, hey, I took this test and it was pretty bad and I didn't think I did really well and I'm not really sure why I have to take it and well, woe is me or whatever, I don't know. Or you might say, hey, this was awesome and I did a great job. I really enjoyed it. Okay, that's all well and good and you can be as honest as you want, but there are certain requirements. There are actually 3 points that you need to address in this reflection. So make sure you are reading the instructions before you're putting together your reflection. So you've got those 2 things. You got the pause and practice exercises. Again, please do those. Watch the lecture stuff if you haven't yet. Watch the videos that I'm going to be posting. And as always, get into discussion. We're near the end, folks. We're near the end. You can see it. That light at the end of the tunnel is getting brighter and brighter every day. So if you have any questions, please, as always, reach out, Skype, email, call or text. You know where to find me. Thanks, folks.